I was at a state in my life, a young preacher, just going into the ministry, thinking what I was going to do, Father, because I just didn't really have any ministers who would take personal interest. It's one of the things that young ministers face when you don't have anybody who takes interest in you to want to mentor you.
Mentorship is an aspect of the ministry that could either make or break a man of God. You can see an example in the Old Testament between Moses and Joshua, Elijah and Elisha, and in the New Testament you see it operating in the life of Jesus and the 12 disciples, and also Paul the Apostle with Silas and Timothy. So mentorship is an effective tool and can command open doors to one's ministry. The likes of Archbishop Benson in Idahosa, Pastor Oyakhilome, Bishop Wale Oke trace one of their stages of mentorship to Pa Elton. You can watch the video of the interview with Pa Elton by clicking on this video or through the link in the description of this video. In this video, you'll be seeing Pastor Oyakhilome mention one of his mentors. So watch, and please do like this video so that the algorithm can pick it up and spread this video out to more people. Thanks.
I've always had in my mind, I'm his legacy. I count myself highly honored to have been given the opportunity to be here celebrating. Now today is 10th of March. It'll be in 2 days from now, 12th of March, the anniversary of the, what did he say? 22 years, yes, since he transited from here. You say, what did he go for? I'll tell you. On that day, when it happened, Reverend Tom was in Benin and called me on the phone. He said, Pastor, there's something on the screen. I don't know what they're talking about. I said, what is it? He said, they're announcing that the Archbishop has passed on. He said, I don't understand what they're saying. But I understood. I understood because he had told me, invite me. He said to me, before the 14th of March, this was December. He was speaking with me in December. And he called his secretary and said to her, where's your card? She came out with a card. He wrote something on it. He said again to me, remember, before the 14th of March. I said, yes, sir. Then I thought, does he know why he sent for me? Because he sent for me. I can give you all that story. But I was thinking, does he know why he sent for me? He said, follow me. So I followed him. He took me around and he kept saying, just for inspiration. Just for inspiration. And I followed him. And we went around and came back. I sat down. And he talked about what he was doing about the university. He had a picture, a large picture in his hand. And when he was done talking about the university and a few other things, He said, let me pray for you. Kneel down. So I went on my knees, and I knew that was the reason he sent for me. Because years before, the Lord had told me what he was going to do. That on a particular occasion, he will call for me and he will do this. I didn't know when. But while I was there, he said, kneel down, let me pray for you. And he laid hands on me and spoke words of the Spirit. Now, it may interest you to know, 2 years before then, I was at a state in my life, a young preacher, just going into the ministry, thinking what I was going to do, Father, because I just didn't really have any ministers who would take personal interest. It's one of the things that young ministers face when you don't have anybody who takes interest in you to want to mentor you. But I had to learn from the Archbishop. Now, I'll come to that in a second. But I was at this point in my life, I was thinking, what do I do? So I began to write down the names of the ministers I thought I might need to contact. So I had 3 names. The first one was the Archbishop, Benson, Idahosa. And I wrote the other 2. While I was thinking, how can I contact them? A voice spoke about 3 feet above my head and said, don't contact them. I'll contact them for you. I'll get them to contact you. It was a short while after that, I got a message. The Archbishop wanted to see me. This was contact number 1. And I wanted to be very sure he wanted to see me. I sent Reverend Tom. I said, go and see the Archbishop. I got a message, he wants to see me. Is it true? And Reverend Tom went. And the Archbishop said, certainly. So that's how I went to see him. Prior to that time, when I was a young teenager, I worked at the office known as the National Office, Church of God Mission. And I used to see Fab, Frida, and the other ones, the other 2 girls, when with the white Toyota Crown, they'll go pick them from school. Yeah, I was there, just a young boy. And like Mama just said, every day in that office, I would be at the lounge looking at the pictures, large pictures of miracles, wonders and signs. I would stare and stare and stare, because I could see in my Bible the miracles. But you see, I only used imagination. Now the Archbishop had the pictures. I could see the pictures. His crusades, the videos from his crusades were amazing. Amazing. But beyond all of that is what the Archbishop meant to me, because I'm a good learner. That's important. I know how to learn. And I want to tell you, I wrote down a few thoughts here just so I can help you understand where I'm coming from. You know, my dad has passed on to heaven now. An amazing gentleman. He preached the gospel too. My mother is amazing. And they brought us up very well.
There are many diverse opinions on how mentorship should go. Should a mentor contact the mentee, or the mentee contact a mentor for mentorship? We have cases in the Bible where it was Elijah that went after Elisha, and Elisha followed him. If you have a contrary opinion or support the fact that it should be the mentor that should stick out for the mentee, or vice versa, please place your comment in the comment section below. Thanks, and God bless.